Can McCaffrey do it again? I'm Jonathan Coachman. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, dual threat Christian McCaffrey. Fresh off a big game a week ago, as it'll be the New York Giants taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Named for the legendary coach and co-founder of the Bengals, there's a good look at Paul Brown Stadium on the riverfront in Cincinnati. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Giants and the Cincinnati Bengals. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you, and now we sit, CD, at week 3 of the preseason, and this is the one that the coaches probably think is pretty valuable, right?
Certainly. This is the dress rehearsal. This is the one where your starters are going to play. You might even game plan a little bit more than you do with a normal preseason game, and then you've got to decide, do you bring them back after halftime and get them going again in the third quarter so they're ready to go when the regular season begins? I'm eager to see how these coaches will handle that.
Lutz now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. Leading this unit will be the big arm man out of Texas Tech. 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Out to the flat, that's complete to his running back. It's a gain of 5, and it'll make it 2nd down. And we take a look now at the New York offense.
When I see Latavius Murray with the ball in his hands, I think that he's a dangerous player. He has good speed, good presence to run inside, nice toughness, and good vision that once he gets past the first line of defense, he can make a guy miss and turn it into a bigger game.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Here's Mahomes to throw. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And the Bengals starting defensive unit now.
Tyrann Mathieu has a cornerback's build with safety skills. The Honey Badger knows where the football is.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2. To throw, it's Mahomes. Open man is Gordon, complete. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a 1st down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
On 1st down, Mahomes. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground, and the Bengals grab it. 20, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Cincinnati touchdown. And he has great speed, defensive back speed. Once he got it and took off, there was no catching it.
And I know every team tells you to hustle no matter what the play, but there was no chance of catching him. Maybe if it had been a defensive tackle running with the ball, but not in this case.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. New York set to take the field. They run with a former Viking and Raider. It's Latavius Murray. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. 19
yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty, because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is, because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
22 yards there, a 1st down. Mahomes now already over 100 yards passing in just this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. Throwing now is Mahomes. He's going to find his tight end Boyle. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
First trip to the red zone for the Giants. 1st and 10 right at the 20. Back to the ground game. Here's Murray. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Taylor.
all that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
Mahomes to throw on 3rd and 1. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. You know, last week I remember asking you, what would an offensive coordinator be looking for week 2 of the preseason? Now we're in week 3. Defensive coordinator-wise, what's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason, you're playing pretty basic stuff, pretty vanilla defenses. You're looking for guys that play with abandon, that just go out and make plays. You kind of let their athletic ability take over in order for you to notice them.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points. It will give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Here come the Bengals now to take over. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top? He's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker, able to break that one up. Here's the offense, and sometimes you got to show love to the big guys.
That you do. And we're talking about Jason Kelsey now, not Travis, his brother, who plays tight end. Jason lines up at center, a threat to go to the Pro Bowl each and every year.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Check, check. Lucky. Motion.
A first carry for Christian McCaffrey, who made his first Pro Bowl last year. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
I thought that was a good call. Passing situation on 2nd down. They hit him with the draw instead and pick up nice yardage.
Yeah, because the draw, they're thinking pass when they see that initially defensively, right?
But you know, in today's NFL, most of the time on 2nd and long, when it's a passing situation, pass rushers are on the field and they're only thinking one thing, get to the quarterback. And oftentimes you can bypass them with a running play. Obviously, they didn't get everything they wanted on that completion, but they put themselves in a spot where you got to at least think about going for it. I know where we are on the field, but still, you've got to think about it, don't you?
Let's go!
The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they begin this drive in very precarious field position inside their own 5.
And remember, this is a defense that's already scored once in this game, so you've got to really take care and make sure that you're blocking these guys to try and wedge the ball out from the shadow of your own end zone.
Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, both teams practice this situation, and this time the guys on offense won, and in a very nice way. What a run from that position on their own goal line.
Gave him some good breathing room.
I wonder now, do you still stack the line of scrimmage, or do you play normal defense? They may have backed them off with that run. All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Call it a gain of 5 as they move the sticks.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And there's a quick little completion. Got the job done for a 1st down.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Mahomes firing complete. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets him 6. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. To the right side, complete to Taylor. Another good completion on the drive as the Giants have a 1st down.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. This is Murray. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. These offensive starters still out there in the second quarter. You would think the plans for them to at least play into the third quarter, if not all the way through it.
Yeah, it might go by feel. If they have a really good first drive to start the third quarter, they might pull them after that. If not, might leave them out there a little bit longer, but I'll guarantee this, they'll be gone by the start of the fourth quarter.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. And give credit to Reuben Foster, the linebacker, getting a hand in to disrupt.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
25 yards that time. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
From the 44, Murray. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. It's a pickup of 17 and a 1st down.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And only a yard this time as he's taken down right around the 26.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
No, check that. We got Mike 52 right here.
On 2nd and 9, Murray. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. The linebacker, Darius Leonard, applied the heat.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
54's Mike. 54's Mike.
Murray with a 3rd and long. He's got his man. It's Butler. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
In your face.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Bengals add on to their lead. The touchdown all set up by the big play 1 snap before, but they finish it off here with a shorter completion, this time for the score.
I like how they stuck with what got them there, right? The big pass play. Got the momentum going, right? You create it with a play like that, and you come right back with another pass play to finalize things off.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. There's Josh Gordon as he heads back out there now. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? 2nd quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Mahomes now on 1st down. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Gary and Conley. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get
On 2nd and 7, Murray fighting, lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
On 1st down, Murray. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
Right, didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. And Lambeau will put this one through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Let's go, let's go.
Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46 and to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the...
Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes. So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over. Granted, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. On third down, Murray. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll kick it away for the second time. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And with still more than a minute to go in the half, time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete.
Let's go.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. From the gun, Murray.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Murray again, 2nd and 10. Throw left side, McCaffrey's got it. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
This is something that we expected to see. McCaffrey used out of the backfield. 107 catches in 2018, the most in one season by an NFL.
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long. Got a man right side. It's McCaffrey. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34. Throwing is Murray on third down. He'll let this go end zone for Green. Green's open, and he's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A.J. Green in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. And just before the half ends, the prayer is answered defensively. A disaster there.
I know often we're surprised when this actually works. I mean, the excitement level goes way up, but maybe we shouldn't be because I know as a defender, you've got to play the ball in this situation, but you can't interfere with the receiver because, remember, it's a spot foul, and it'd be first and goal if it happens in the end zone, and you don't want to give up that play. And that little bit of hesitancy often works really well for offensive guys.
Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in just a moment. But first, let's give everybody a look at what's coming up this weekend in the NFL. In our game, expect to see the starters for at least one more drive, something to look forward to as we get you back out to Brandon Godden.
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. Our starters likely to be out there for the third quarter as we get back underway in this second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love? Four verts. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep and for him to show off that big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great. They go play action here on first down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Undercrush.
On second down, McCaffrey. A big play there from McCaffrey. 56 yards on the ground. And a guy that can change the game shows you a glimpse of it right there, taking the ball down inside the red zone.
It just tells you how tough it is for a defense. You just hold on all game and essentially hold your breath. Will they break a big one on us at any point during the game? It just happened right there.
Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard on the pickup there. Second and goal. It's Eckler again. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Austin Eckler taking it in. And the Bengals add on to their lead.
Could not block that one any better. Everyone was accounted for, and a great surge by the offensive line.
Lutz with the extra point, and the lead opens up now to 22 points. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. The Mississippi State man, Chris Jones, with a sack there.
What a nice read and play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12.
Watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Hey.
10th carry of the game now. Murray takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards. As we surmise, Charles, most of the starting units still out there for this third quarter. First time this preseason that they played into the second half.
And that's by design. Most of the time by this point of the preseason, you want them to go into the half.
Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
Following that fumble recovery, it's Murray. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10.
Check nickel.
Back to the air on 2nd down, it's Murray. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
That's what I'm talking about.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. Here's Murray. He wants it all for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that'll extend this lead. to 25. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
And now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Left side here, taken in by Metcalf. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up the block in front of him? Either fellow receivers or offensive linemen. That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Colin Saunders able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now here's Mahomes. That's into the hands of the tight end Boyle. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On third down, Murray. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Third and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down.
Well, that's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
Now this throw caught left side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Trent Taylor, 36 yards. And the Giants are able to cut into this lead.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
A big hole there. How about him handling the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Kaiser. And that is incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Love. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Watch out. Slam.
Working out of the gun. Here's Kaiser. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hall. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
So the drive takes them into Giants territory now, 1st and 10, right at the 40. Now a handoff, Henderson. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Let them know.
On play action, Kaiser. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. That sack by Tremaine Edmonds. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
3rd and long for Kaiser. And he's going to go down again. From the corner, it was Kendall Fuller with a sack.
Good job.
Back now in Cincinnati as we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter. Back now in Cincinnati as we've got the final quarter upon us. We get ready to start the 4th. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Bengals have recovered it.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing is ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. 2nd down, it's Henderson. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Here's Kaiser on the screen. This is Eckler. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
Mike 51, Mike 51. Hey, let's get to it.
A first down throw for Kaiser. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right.
Check 43. Zoom. Right here, guys. Mike 51. Mike 51.
On 3rd down, Kaiser. Fine time. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Charles Tapper in there to drop him, and that is the 7th time tonight that he has gone down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points. But this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. New York set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
The throw here going to be complete to Gordon, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Chris Jones able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
On 4th down, Greer hits his target, Hunter. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, Plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need. And that's exactly what they got done.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is, will he be able to bounce back in the next one? Because right now, this has not been his game.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. I think this is what this game's become now. Just go deep, see if we can get something to go our way.
Yeah, not the most creative or most inventive play call there, but not much has worked for them throughout this game. They're almost at a loss about what to dial up.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Back to throw, Greer. That's to his running back, complete. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. The Giants go on 4th but come up empty. And the Bengals are going to get it back in terrific field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second, half down, 3 scores. I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Throw left side, complete. That's Harmon.
You want a problem? You want a problem with me?
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
Here we go. Set. 50. Plant. Watch the run. Watch the run. Hit it.
From the 45 on 2nd down. McSorley. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
2nd and 10, it's McSorley. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hall. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. It's a foot race. He's at the 30. And it's a defensive return for a late touchdown. So they still need somewhat of a miracle here, but at least that gets them a little bit closer. Yeah, so hold the phone here, Charles. I'd kind of written them off, but after that touchdown, it's certainly a long way still to go, but stranger things have happened.
Well, when you're going to have big second-half comebacks, plays like that have to be involved.
Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that will get him one closer. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this is going to be snuffed out. The Bengals recover. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
Rock it.
On first down, here's Love. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, baby.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Here we go.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And he finds his man. That's Sweeney. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 4.
Pilot, 64, weak. Check safety. Hey, zoom. 5.
They go play action now with McSorley. Flushed out right. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
New York set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, okay.
A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Julian Love, the rookie from Notre Dame. They were looking for Johnson that time. And maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a quarterback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Off of play action, it's McSorley. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive lineman with it.
Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. The Bengals on 3rd down. Not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 17. On play action, they'll throw. Able to find Waller. That's complete. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game.
Set 70, Indy. Squeeze. Focus, defense, focus. Smooth.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Bengals as we say so long from Cincinnati. use your practice squad to develop younger players that could eventually contribute in games. Easily see how many players you need to cut this week. Here are some recommendations to get you started.